Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Thanks for checking in here on a very busy Friday. We are going to get to as much as we possibly can today. Obviously, with the NBA game finals being played tomorrow night, Stanley Cup final now in favor of Carolina. They'll play Game 6 out here in Vegas over the weekend as well. We have a College World Series game going on. In fact, the lid lifter, as we like to say, to the event. And West Virginia leads Troy right now 5-4 as they play in the fifth. Also, there is a World Cup match going on. All of every single Canadian who I know freaking out. They trail Bosnia 1-0 at halftime. And the Major League Baseball card today as well. Great guest, Eddie Olczyk in 30 minutes. Matt Vascagian in an hour. Matt Moore coming up in 90 minutes, among others here on the program today. How you feeling here going into the weekend?
Good. Canada's in trouble.
Yep.
I can tell you that. And fired up for a great weekend. USA tonight. Can Carolina finish it off? Can the Knicks close the deal Saturday? Open bar, all you can eat tomorrow here at Circa. I'm ready.
Yeah, beyond the booth. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock out here at Circa. And can't wait to meet everybody who's coming in, making the trip out here for the weekend to hang tomorrow with a very busy day. And the World Cup's going to be extremely busy. College World Series as well. Do you think John Tortorella has to make a goalie change? 4 goals allowed by Hart again last night.
Yeah. It's a gutsy move because of the timing, and you're putting someone in so cold. But we just saw what happened and how it's worked out for Carolina. Mm-hmm. While it wasn't Anderson's fault, and you can't put all the blame on Hart, certainly the death of Claude Lemieux, and maybe there was a concussion and other factors with Anderson, but nobody expected Bussy to come in like that and save the day. And what he did and how they came back, and now they've turned that into a 3-2 series lead. We are entering, though, C.J. Stroud territory. I had no problem with the question, what Johnny Lazarus said, the former VSiN employee. But here's the appropriate question, and it goes back to Stroud in the playoffs. What will it take for him to – what does he have to do to get pulled? That's the question.
I like the analogy.
That's what it's got to be.
Nothing, evidently.
That was right. That's what Ryan said with Stroud.
Yep.
Like, you can throw 6 interceptions in a playoff game and you're not going to pull him?
Yeah, he's my guy.
Well, he can't lose his job? So I would think if it's 2-0 Carolina early on Sunday, then you can pull him, much like Carolina did, to try to wake the team up and also, give yourself a chance because he's just not playing well. And it's historic what he's done to give up 4 goals in every game.
Right. You're gonna hear what it sounded like last night in the post-game press conference here coming up in a second. Not every, but most people watching the series is pretty much thinking the same thing. And here was the back and forth last night with Tortorella after they lost again.
John, did you consider at all going to Adin Hill in the third period, or was there any conversation you thought about it?
Christ, that could be the stupidest question I've heard.
And just cuts him right off.
Well, that's Tortorella.
That's the stupidest question you've ever heard?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then where would this one rank? John, are you going to consider going to Adin Hill for Game 6? Is that even worse? It has to be under consideration, Paulie.
To him, yes, right. But it's that the appropriate question now is what does he have to do to get pulled? What will it take for you to make a change?
It's a great question.
It's just apparently nothing.
I mean, if he allows 2 softies in the first in Game 6,
got to do it.
Don't you think the players are saying something here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's hard. It's hard from the Utah series. But remember what he said in that series, which it's an incredible run. But remember, they were down in the third period of the first 5 games of that series. And a big reason why it was hard, and the fans were calling for a goalie change. Mm-hmm. I think even Mike Palm and Derek Stevens said it as well, and were shocked by it. But he goes, no, I trust Carter. He'll figure it out, which he did. But now he's going back to the Carter Hart from the first round.
And maybe there's that thing where, look, this has been a discussion on this show throughout the week. We've heard it from a couple of people at least, that the deal was Tortorella was going to be the coach until the end of the playoffs, or until the end of June, basically. And Dennis Bernstein was on the show yesterday. He kind of cemented that thought. And it's like, win or lose, he's gone. Not going to come back next year. And so maybe like the passion for Tortorella to actually, because Carter Hart's his guy, clearly. And so maybe he just like, my decision. I don't care if we lose and this guy gives up 6 goals. I'm going to go to war with him, and I don't care what any single human being has to say about it because I'm gone at the end of the year anyway. And that's, look, they got rid of Cassidy with 8 games to go. Maybe management has to say something here. Maybe they got to pull him aside and say, hey, pal, we want to, I know that you're probably done, but we would like to win another Stanley Cup, and we don't think that we can do it right now with Carter Hart. You got to pull the plug.
Or it's just he gives us the best chance to win, and I'm sticking by my guy. But that goes back to C.J. Stroud did not give you the best chance.
He did not at all.
He was killing you in the playoff games. You should have blew out the Steelers, and you should have beat the Patriots.
Right.
What he was doing. So the other thing is this incredible run. I don't know if we ever see this again. Before the Stanley Cup final, Stahl was 500-1 to win the Conn Smythe. You mentioned it earlier in the week that during Game 4, he was 175-1 at FanDuel. He's now minus 120. He has gone. When is this? Have we seen this before? From 500-1 to minus 120 in a span of 5 games.
I can't imagine.
No.
In any sport, like how could we? When it's going to drop that much, that big of a. So I like to pay attention to the live stuff during most evenings. And for Game 4, I'm on the app, and I'm on plenty of apps, and I happen to be on FanDuel. And after he scored the first goal, Paulie, right there, 175-1, and I'm stuck. I can't do a damn thing about it because Boyd is here, and they're kind of an offshoot of FanDuel, but they don't offer everything that FanDuel has. So Boyd doesn't have up Conn Smythe. I don't think. Am I wrong on this? Does any book have up Conn Smythe in Nevada?
I believe they take it all down.
They have to take it down once the
NBA.
Yeah. Yes. So it would have been like, okay, but all of a sudden, like during the game, I got to call a bunch of people. Can you see if you can get down? I'm not going to drive to Arizona during the game. That's not going to happen. And I just had to watch it drop from 175-1. When he scored again in that game, it was 9-1. I was like, oh, that'd be nice to have a piece of that. But I'm completely SOL right now. And so it does pay to pay attention to this stuff as well during the games, no doubt about that. But man, oh man, when Jonathan Davis came on the show that day, he was 100.
Right.
And they bumped him back up live during the game, and it was still 175-1 after he scored that first goal. It's insane,
right,
man.
And he got 2. But now he has 6 goals in the 5 games. So this is it's bananas.
Is he going to win it by default?
Dennis Bernstein might have a point what he said yesterday, because now I think he's moved up to 22nd in points now.
Yeah.
Or 21st in points. But he scored again, and I think he has the 5th most goals. But you still don't know what the voters are going to do. And maybe Dennis could be wrong on that, or maybe he's right. But this is maybe the odds are wrong as well. Maybe he shouldn't be $1.20. I don't think OG should be plus 210.
You think he should be higher than that?
I think he should be higher, right. And I still think, and I talked to Brian Mahoney today, he would go with Brunson, and I know we mentioned Bontemps and Windhorst would go with OG. I just think that Brunson has been so good. I know the inefficiency, the issues early on, but I just think Brunson carrying them and the epic comeback, I think will carry the day if the Knicks close them out.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that the closing opportunities here that Brunson has had and came through with them throughout many games in the fourth quarter, I think that's going to be a lasting memory for a lot of the voters, and they're not going to be able to look past that. And I think that Brunson will probably still, well, again, what's going to happen in the next 2 games or 3 games. So we'll expand on the finals coming up, and a bet that I think I finally landed on, San Antonio taking money for that game tomorrow night.
Good.
Also, we have Team USA tonight, first game, World Cup, SoFi Stadium in LA against Paraguay. Luke, our producer, who's actually off today, he's in Nashville for a bachelor party, but he's doing write-ups for the World Cup the entire time. He has a great breakdown and reminder here that the U.S. in FIFA rankings, they're 14th overall. They played 4 international friendlies, Paulie. And of those 4 matches, 1 was a win, 3-2 over Senegal, number 16 overall. The other 3 came against Belgium, number 9, Portugal, number 5, and Germany, number 10. U.S. was outscored by 9-3, but Paraguay, they've had 3 matches, and they defeated Greece, number 47 overall, 1-0, and dominated Nicaragua, number 131 in the rankings, 4-0. They did lose to 8th-ranked Morocco, 2-1. He has the U.S. minus 110. Both teams have scored no, minus 130. And a USA money line, both teams have scored no, parlay plus 190.
2.5 the total up on Pauly Market. Get there, whether it's World Cup, basketball, or hockey, the action nonstop, and Pauly Market lets you cash out before the final buzzer. Unlike your typical book, where you're locked in the second you place your bet. Polymarket gives you control of your position the whole way through. Download the app. Get started with free $50. Use code BUZZ at Polymarket. Code BUZZ. Check local regulations before trading. Trading not available in all jurisdictions.
Last night, another reminder, and yesterday, that it's a joy to watch. I don't care. Fill in the blank with whatever country, because tonight it's going to be awesome to watch Team USA.
That was a nice comeback. It was 12-1.
Yeah, it was. But to see, first of all, Circa Sports yesterday, this book was absolutely sold out to capacity. And the Mexican fans are awesome. And they will, they'll fill up a ballroom of 8,000 people across the city. And they love this club. And the same thing did you see that in San Francisco last night with South Korea? The place is absolutely on fire.
Yeah. 12-1 in play.
Damon Bruce said it looked like the 49ers on the road last night.
Yeah. It's a good one.
With their fans.
Yeah.
Damon Bruce, longtime radio host up in San Francisco.
I still love what they're doing here at Circa. That every match they have yes-no goal in the first 10 minutes. And the no is like -$6. How many times is that going to happen? Now, coming up, you're going to see some huge prices in some countries that are outmatched and outmanned and some big favorites. But still, I wonder how many times that the yes is going to cash in this tournament. But that's a great prop.
Yeah, it really is. And I know, again, a bunch of Canadian fans, it is squeaky bum time as they trail Bosnia right now 1-0 in the 50th minute. Second half is finally underway. All right, this bet has cashed in 4 straight games of the NBA Finals with relative ease. And I think this is the bet I have settled on for Game 4 tomorrow night. I'll tell you what that is next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll spend time talking about Game 6 Stanley Cup Final. Jonathan Davis will join us in studio. He's got to be feeling pretty good about his Jordan Staal Conn Smythe bet and recommendation at 100-1 before Game 4. He's now the odds-on favorite. Little baseball coming up here as well. But
Can I mention an incredible bet he might lose, though?
Sure.
In the second round, he bet Carolina total losses over 3.5. If they win tomorrow, he loses that bet somehow.
Oh, is that right? That's not that brutal a beat.
No?
No.
Well, we thought
he bet it in the second round?
Yeah. Well, we thought they were going to see Colorado. And then, everyone would have picked Colorado, and there was 4 losses right there. But that's sure.
Okay, so we just spent time talking about betting the USA match tonight against Paraguay. Chris Felica, the Bear, is going to be on Fox coverage the entire time for the World Cup. He was also on with Gil Alexander at a numbers game talking about his bets and how he's looking at the game tonight.
Clearly, rocking chair, no sweat at all, no concern. Wrong.
Yeah.
I can see Paraguay really bunkering in here. They did not concede very much during qualifying, and I don't know if you've caught on to this the last couple of major competitions, but the U.S. scored 6 goals in 7 games, both in the World Cup and in Copa America, the last 2 competitions they've been in. Paraguay, I think this might be a game where they're trying to get a point out of it. They may be, without Julio Enciso, their best and most creative offensive-minded players. So I can see Paraguay coming out, making it really difficult for the U.S. to score in the first half. Maybe we get a 0-0. I'm going to play halftime draw, U.S. to win at plus 420. Is how I looked at it, because I do think the U.S. will have difficulty scoring early on, and I think finally in the second half someone makes a play, someone creates that magical moment, and the U.S. does get all 3 points out of this. But I don't think it's going to be comfortable by any means.
There you go, Chris Felica, the Bear, on a numbers game, talking about the match coming up in just a little bit shy of 3 hours. I'm a big Bear guy.
Excellent.
Big Bear. Felica's awesome.
Well, like our last guest, Chris, just said, though, too, we got to have this. I mean, it just if we can't come out with a win, then things get interesting. But it's no gimme.
Right. More on the game. Jack Collins, SiriusXM FC host. He was on VSiN by the books, and he analyzed tonight's match.
I think the one thing we don't know today with this game against Paraguay, we know how Paraguay are going to approach this. They're going to basically try to not play football particularly. They're going to kick 7 lumps out of everyone that they're allowed to kick 7 lumps out of. They're going to stay compact. They don't concede many goals, and they're going to look to take advantage of set pieces. The US will have the majority of the ball. I think the question becomes, like on paper, this US side is better than Paraguay, right? Absolutely no doubt about that. There is far more talent in the side. There are more kind of men who are willing to stand up and be counted. There are more talisman. And especially with Julio Enciso out for Paraguay, there's far more creativity in this US side than there is in their opponents. The question for me is they walk out, bright lights at SoFi, had the opening ceremony. There's all of this pomp and circumstances, as you kind of point out there. Who freezes under the lights? And who goes out there and goes, this is my stage? Because Paraguay are not going to be fazed whatsoever by the fact that there's an opening ceremony. They know exactly how they're going to come out and play.
Okay, both gentlemen there making the case that tough match as well tonight.
2.5 under -180 now. Could be cagey and nervy.
Yeah, I don't really want to bet many overs when the money lines are like this tight. Maybe the totals where a team is laying 3,000 or whatever it is. That's where you probably want to look at some, can they score 4 or 5 goals? Maybe. But I think 2.5 under is the only look I would have for a lot of these matches.
Yeah.
Major League Baseball tonight. I do have a bet on the Rockies-A's game, and it's coming up in pocket. That's out here in Las Vegas as well. I think I'm going to shock people with my bet on that game. But I'll tell you about that coming up in about a half an hour. Here's the team. I could give you 10 guesses. Do you know
the red hot team?
The most wins right now in June?
Miami? They're 8-1?
Yeah, you got it right.
They're 8-1, yeah.
Yeah. They have the most wins right now. Don't look now. Detroit's also right on their heels.
Where did this come from?
And they get Scooble back tomorrow.
Yeah, they're on fire now.
So it's actually, good Sandy Alcantara can be very good. He goes tonight against Ashcraft for the Pirates, who is also like really, really good. Ozuna against Alcantara in his career, slashing pretty well, 357, 400, 607 with 2 home runs and 3 extra base hits. Brandon Lau also good numbers with 4 extra base hits. And Ashcraft at home, 7 starts, a 3.38 ERA, more than 10 Ks per 9, and a 1.08 WHIP. I don't know, man. This Pirates team is tough to go against because their offense. I know Miami's red hot. I think this, with the pitching matchup that we have here, I kind of like the under in the game. Maybe under first 5, so you don't have to get the bullpens involved.
All right. But don't you like the Blue Jays? Is Savage going?
You like him against Weathers?
It's a house of horrors, yes. The Yankees have lost 8 of their last 9 in Toronto. The issues that happened in the playoffs as well. They've been outscored 75-41 going back to Rogers Center.
They also have a...
Seems cheap tonight.
Yeah.
He's going against Weathers.
It has been a bad matchup for this team for sure. They have the 3rd best run differential in baseball right now. The Yankees do. They are 22-14 on the road. Super solid number there. They've won 4 straight games. Are you concerned at all about how they were warming up a little bit before the day off? Weathers on the road, a 3.97 ERA, 1.1 WHIP.
They should be able to get to him.
12 Ks per 9.
Don't you think? I think they should be able to win tonight. And plus, it's been a tough spot for the Yankees.
All right.
Yep.
The Miz goes at home.
Oh, boy.
He's made 7 starts, 42-plus innings, a 1.91 ERA.
Look at the respect.
14 Ks per 9. The Phillies are 21-10 under Don Mattingly. Would you you want to take a shot here with plus 220 on the Phillies? They're one of the hottest teams of baseball as well.
Isn't it correlated? Isn't it going over the Phillies win?
Yeah, I think so.
Is Tanner Banks going to slow him down? No. I would think it'd be Mizorowski if he's going to finally have a bad start and the Phillies get to him.
Yeah.
It'd be Phillies and over.
I would agree with that.
Maybe he just has a tough outing and a lot of pitches and he's out of there by the 5th inning. That's the other thing that could happen too.
Boy, plus 220 on the Phillies.
And how well they're playing. Yes, I know.
I think I got to take a stab at that.
Yes. How about the other great story, the White Sox?
Yeah.
Like you said, they're packing the ballpark. You had the Montgomery walk-off. No Ohtani tonight. Sasaki $1.50 on the road. Total of 9 against K, and K's been good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no Ohtani. He left the game in like the 7th inning last night. And right away after the game, they said he's going to be fine. They actually, I think, expected him to play today after the game was over with last night, but obviously you're not going to get the guy not in the lineup, and clearly he's worth something to the number here because they would be higher than $1.50 tonight. I don't have a bet on that game, but how would you approach it? K has had that stretch where he's really good.
Yeah. I would think we could see runs, though, in this one.
Here's one team that
I don't trust Sasaki at all.
I don't want to the run line thing. Maybe if you want to play this team -1, that would not be a bad angle. But how about the Rays playing at the Angels tonight?
Well, I thought you were going to go Seattle.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, because Miller's been so good, and it's Littell going for Washington. That Seattle only $1.40 with Miller. Well, 1.33 ERA going back since May 13th.
The Opta AI projections are kind of high on Littell tonight. Scared me away from him a little bit.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought maybe the team to play on the road, although they're 500 on the road, they're 24-9 at home.
Yeah.
But it would be the Rays. It's McClanahan going against somebody I've never heard of in my life. Eldegari?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
A very small sample size here for McClanahan against the Angels. 47 plate appearances, 28% K rate, 200 average. And the Angels have the highest K rate in Major League Baseball. Keep it simple, stupid. The Rays are really good. The Angels suck. So maybe go Tampa here, like -1, or if you want to do the run line as well.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be batting in the top of the 9th inning. And Yandy Diaz has been blazing hot.
Yep. And a prediction, there's going to be insanity in the A's game tonight because they didn't offer the specials in this one.
Yeah.
It's just the total's 14. It was 14.5. It's Sullivan against Jump. And after they did it for 3 games, they took the specials off the board. That's too bad.
Thinking about a same-game parlay with the home runs with Goodman, McCarthy, Soderstrom, and then the other, maybe a Lawrence Butler type. I don't want to go Kurtz. It's too short.
Yeah, and the total base is 2.5 now.
Yeah.
Whether you tuned into basketball or hockey action nonstop, Pauly Market lets you cash out before the final buzzer. See the game shifting. You can lock in your edge early. Download the app. Get started with free $50 using promo code BUZZ at Pauly Market. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and requirements apply. Everything you want up there, weather, economy, politics, mentions, NBA, NHL, NBA. Where's Giannis going to play next? LeBron, awesome. Pauly Market. Get your $50. Code BUZZ, Pauly Market.
Our buddy Chris Massero, Pro Better, had Miami most wins in May.
Come on,
May.
really?
I wonder if he ran it back at all in June. That would be that would not be a good feeling.
Yeah, I know. What a start.
We'll hit Game 6 Stanley Cup Final coming up next. Jonathan Davis on the program. Will the series head back to Raleigh for a Game 7? We'll get his answer next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We have to wait until tomorrow night to get Game 5 of the NBA Finals, but the wait's going to be worth it. Here at Circa, Spurs are laying 5, total 217. A lot of other books have 5.5, and we go out to the Progressive guest line to get more on this game and the series itself as Matt Moore joins the program now. Follow him on X, at HP Basketball, does a great job, senior writer at Action Network. Hey, Matt, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Doing well, man. How are y'all?
Doing really well.
Good, sir.
So how do you think the Spurs recover from that absolute debacle on Wednesday night, and can they get over that loss in time here for a Game 5 tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think it's the benefit of being young, right? When you're young, you're like, well, that was weird. That was terrible. That'll never happen again. I mean, bad things don't really happen that much. And then you get older and you're like, oh no, bad things happen a lot in your life. So I think that that helps. I think that their messaging too, from Greg Popovich and Mitch Johnson and the organizational structure there is going to be like, you move on, you get to the next game. Like it's good having the situations where you do have this experience for you to lean on of having the guys that have been there before and have been down in series and it looks so bad and we're able to come back. And I think that the confidence that they've shown in these media sessions isn't so much confidence as it is just like a general approach that the Spurs are going to have, which is you can't do anything about what happened last game. You can only control what happens next. And so I think they'll be in the right place, I think, for this game 5. The Knicks might win because they have so much momentum and they're getting so many winning plays from so many players. But I do think the Spurs are going to be ready for game 5.
Johnson said he believes in Fox and he will be out there in crunch time in the fourth quarter. Do you agree? And are you backing some of his props as a result?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to move off of him. A big thing that people, I think, have gotten confused on is like the value of De'Aaron Fox. And a lot of this is their half-court offense is absolute garbage in this series when he is not on the floor. They cannot create anything because when you have Stephon Castle, a second-year player, and you have Dylan Harper, a first-year player, you're not going to be able to get the kind of offense that you need to win a possession-by-possession battle in the finals. You can't. Their transition attempts have been horrible in the series. So Fox does make an impact even when he's not creating stuff. However, he has continued to go over his rebounds and assist line. So I'm on, once again, his rebounds and assists over for game 5. Over 9.5. It's crazy to me this number is still at this. Even in a disaster game for him in the last game, he still went over this in the previous game. So I'm on De'Aaron Fox over 9.5 rebounds and assists. He playmakes, he creates, he gets the ball whenever there's an opportunity to grab it and get up at the floor. Guys will let him have it so that he can navigate and get up the floor and get them into sets quicker. So De'Aaron Fox over 9.5 rebounds and assists. You don't have to worry about his shooting in that situation. You don't have to worry about him getting blocked at the rim by OG Anunoby. You just have to worry about the rebounds and assists. He will continue to get minutes. If they're benching anybody, it's going to be Stephon Castle. Fox is going to play.
Okay, and that's correlated then with the play that you have on Castle as well. You want to bet positive outcomes for Fox, but a negative outcome here for Castle?
Yeah, so he's gone over this consistently even when he's got minutes. And Castle's, I think he plays with a lot of aggression and he's taken on a role that they need in being effective and being able to get to the rim. But in general, he's also been extremely sloppy. His potential assists are there, but I've gone back and watched those possessions, and it's all like, yeah, that could have been an assist if it wasn't a horrible pass, and that really causes the kind of problems that you run into here. His placement isn't great. His reads aren't very good. The Knicks have sent a lot of help on his drive to be able to try and flummox him. I think if you can bet his turnovers over. But if you can't, I think taking the under on his assist, which consistently has gone over, not only in this series, but in the playoffs, is a really good look. He is a scorer. He's not a table setter. He will continue to try and get to the rim.
After game 2, OG was 80-1 to win MVP. I know you like the Spurs and you think it goes back to the Garden. If the Knicks win, who's your MVP?
Right now, it's OG Anunoby. I think that there's still value on this. We had a big discussion today on our podcast, Buckets. We talk about betting every day on there. And it's a matter of, yes, the line has moved so much where he's plus 210 consensus in the market. Is that enough? Because Zach Lowe has come out and said he'd vote for OG right now, point blank. You've got the Hoop Collective on ESPN saying they would vote for OG Anunoby right now. He is, I think, should be the favorite going into these games. And even if they get out of game 5 and there's more of a separation between the game 4 tip back and game 5, I still think OG is going to be able to do it. Anyone who really has paid attention to the series knows Brunson's been extremely inefficient. He's been limited in his effectiveness. They've lost his minutes. And he's just come up with a couple of huge fourth quarters, which matters. It's been great. But I don't know how you make him the MVP based off of that, given what OG has given them. I think there's still actually a little bit of value on Karl Anthony Towns. Everyone thinks I'm nuts. It's 40-1. Only at 40-1 do I like that number. But look, if Towns comes out and has a great game 5 and they lose, and then follows it up with a great game 6, and it's asking a lot, if Jalen Brunson will just pass the ball to him, Cat's been awesome in this series. And I still think that there's a possibility for that to be live. But I do think that OG Anunoby right now is the MVP, and it's still worth betting at plus 210.
Strong.
Yeah.
Strong. How real is it that the Spurs could win, but Wemby gets suspended?
That's kind of been the question I've been asking is like, what if that's the way that this goes? I think it's pretty possible, right? Like he's not going to put up with the shoving and all this stuff. And everyone's making these things so hyper focused. If you do anything, it shows up in the clips the next day and everyone's talking about it. I think it's very likely that he winds up picking up that flagrant. I don't know if he's a player that young dealing with this physicality, because now that he's on the threshold, the Knicks are going to double down on trying to get under his skin.
Yes.
Brunson's going to do it. Hart's going to do it. And OG's going to do it. They will continuously try and get him to commit that mistake. It's not going to surprise me if Victor Wembanyama is in fact suspended for Game 6.
Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Matt Moore. Follow him on X at HP Basketball, senior writer, Action Network. He mentioned there a great job with the podcast called Buckets as well. So your official plays are Spurs 5.5 for Game 5, Castle under 6.5 assists, Fox over 9.5 rebounds and assists. So then if you win these bets and the Spurs win and overall they make it a Game 6, how do you see the series going beyond this game?
I kind of think the Spurs could force a Game 7, and that's where I'm going to want the Knicks. Look, I picked the Knicks in 7 to start the series, so some of it's confirmation bias. But look, if we look at the course of the series, I don't think the Spurs are better because I think you do have to win these fourth quarters. But look at these leads, 29 in Game 4, 17 in Game 1. It has been an absolute cacophony of bad luck. Now, this is the Knicks in these playoffs, which is everything is going their way. But the Spurs did show they were mortal by breaking the 13-game winning streak in Game 3 and getting that win on the road. They know they can win in New York. It's crazy that they might not win a single game at home. That's a crazy outcome.
Yeah.
So I think it's entirely possible they can, like I said, I like them to push this to Game 6. And then once you're back at Game 6, now all the pressure's on New York. Now it's all the pressure is on New York. You were up 3-1. You had that amazing Game 4. But now it's 3-2. And if you lose this, you're going to a Game 7 on the road. So I do think that there is a possibility for the Spurs to get this to Game 7. Although at that point, I'm going to love the Knicks because I think that road teams are now just absolutely killing in these Game 7s lately.
When do you expect a Giannis trade?
I expect it, if the series ends on Saturday, I think it comes sometime mid next week. If the series extends to 6 or 7, I think it probably doesn't happen until Monday. I think it's going to happen. I feel confident it'll happen before the draft. The Bucks are going to walk out with a lottery pick for Giannis. If it's not a lottery pick, it'll be for their own picks back from Portland in a complicated 3-team trade. But if the Heat deal is the one that everything defaults to, if the complicated 3-team deals are tough, because the third team has to have a real reason to want to do it. The other teams want to. We have to trade this player. You have something we want. The third team is always the tricky one because they're usually less committal. If it goes back to Miami, that's the 13th pick. They need the 13th pick from Miami. I've heard Miami hasn't been as engaged on the workout front, in part because they're not anticipating having the pick. They're doing some workouts, but not as many. It'll be interesting to kind of see how this works out, but I expect the deal to be done on at least before the draft begins.
Boy, some of the packages I've seen out there floated as rumors. The one from Miami looks great to me in return. The one from Minnesota I think might look a little bit better. Is there a team that you would lean to right now that he would end up on?
I think right now Boston's probably got the best ability because I do think that there's actual interest from Portland for taking on Jaylen Brown. And if they take on Jaylen Brown and they're willing to send the Bucks picks back to Milwaukee, Milwaukee almost has to take that because with the new lottery rules, it may be more valuable just to have control of your own assets back than to get a high pick in the future that you're trying to gamble on with Miami's future picks or the Warriors' future picks. So if Boston's able to get Portland committed to taking on Jaylen Brown and sending enough of those assets back to Milwaukee to make the money work and for Milwaukee to be satisfied, I do think Boston would have the best case here. I think Miami is the default option, which is why their offer leaked. The Bucks are leaking that offer to then go around and be like, this is what you have to beat.
Awesome stuff, Matt.
Excellent.
Yeah, as always. Thank you so much for the time. Best of luck with Game 5 and beyond if it comes to that. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
The Boston stuff is really heating up.
Yeah.
In the last couple of days. Let's get it interesting. And it's awesome at Pauly Market. Download the app. Get free $50 using the promo code BUZZ. And we're brought to you by Pauly Market. Get $50 on them to trade in Game 5 Saturday night. Can't wait. And again, the markets and the mention markets, everything they have up there, and the big move on OG for MVP. There's another one now. Zach Lowe, Tim Bontemps, Brian Windhorst. OG's my guy for MVP. $50 free code BUZZ at Pauly Market.
There was a book out there, a national book last night that still had 3-1 on him. That did not last long.
This is a mini stall. It was 80-1 after Game 2.
I know it.
You'll tell your story about this later in the show.
And also, we got to get into some of those the numbers at Pauly Market for Giannis, where he could end up, and some of the rumored deals with these teams. And the Opta AI projections are showing one of the biggest edges I can recall for a player prop. Tomorrow night, Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Find out which player that is next year on VSiN.
the quarterback was on coke, if his girlfriend was knocked up.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your children's unborn children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
All right, bad luck continues. The Wings game died WNBA in the fourth quarter. That stayed under, and Reese has been on fire offensively. She's been great on the rebounds, but you cannot grab a rebound when you give up 104 points. Stunned by that. So she had 9. She stays under her rebounds, but I think that's the best game she's played offensively in her short career. 25, 17, and 18 points going back for Reese.
They got, do I recall this? They got blown out, did they not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that they got smoked.
Don't get stops. High scoring night in the WNBA as well. To the pending, Champagnie to lead in threes, plus 270. He has fallen off a cliff the last couple of games, and OG has been the man. He is now minus 450 to lead that. Wemby, the favorite, most rebounds right now, and it was $1.50 before the series. Big body Brunson, 20-plus points in every game, plus 240. So far, so good. Here's your big boy, OG, Finals MVP, 40-1, down to 2-1. Can he get it done? Brian Windhorst, Tim Bontemps, ESPN, Zach Lowe, OG is the winner. If the Knicks can close it out. World Cup, own goals under 10.5 for the tournament. Tomorrow night, Bridges under 10.5 points. Iraq, fewest goals, 8-1. Total games to go to shootouts, over 4.5. Thanks to the email at ftm@vsin.com for the great breakdown with that, going back the last 3 World Cups. Our guest earlier, Chris Wassel, Morocco doesn't know what they're walking into? Okay, I'm here for it, because there's been plenty of support, and they're a trendy pick. So I'll back him and take Brazil tomorrow, $1.50, and this has won all 5 games in regulation. The only loser, they needed double overtime to beat us. Carter Hart Sunday, under 26.5 saves, and you are correct. There is the possibility he could get pulled as well. So let's keep that one going. Good luck.
Best of luck, Paulie. Natasha Mack did not go over 9.5 rebounds last night. I was talking to our buddy Doug Kazarian. I think I'm going to stay away from player props on teams that are really, really bad.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out. Sometimes who's going to show up and what's... Yeah, Sykes went off the other night.
She did.
Toronto. Yeah.
I've not bet it yet, but the Aces Lynx game tomorrow looks like a good over. I think it was 171 when I checked earlier. Dodgers, did you see what happened to your Dodgers first 5?
I did not.
I'm laying half a run. I'm staked to a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah.
It's 5-4 Pirates, bases loaded. Are you bleeping kidding me? And they got out of it. Now, the bases were loaded with 2 outs, but so that was a winner. It's nothing. Truly, baseball is the sport where it's not over till it's over.
Yep. Ask the Nationals.
Yeah, right? Some pending stuff here. It's not looking good. There's a lot of baseball left in June, but Diamondbacks, Braves, and Yankees most wins in the month. And Texas Tech to win the Big 12 at even money. All right, some of the new stuff as well here.
This is an absolute nightmare what's going on with Sorsby. Oh, everyone is fired up.
It is.
Yeah.
More pending here. Stan Coven, most shots on goal. I'm with you on Champagnie, most 3-pointers in the series. A couple of units here are on the Knicks to win the NBA title. Some MVP bets in Major League Baseball. Ramirez and Langoliers. Netherlands plus 140 to reach the quarters. Morocco to reach the quarters as well at plus 330. And the new stuff that we have for tonight. This is the surprise pick. Yes, the total is 14. I'm going to go over Gage Jump, 5.5 Ks. It's even money's good.
All right.
Found it at plus 105 out here at Circa. He has gone over 5.5 and then get back-to-back starts. He's a high strikeout guy. He was in the minors. His Matt Excursion was so good. If you go back and listen to that at 5 o'clock Eastern today, second hour of Follow the Money on the podcast. And also, the Rockies have a 24% K rate on the year. They're 4th overall in Major League Baseball, but it's razor thin between them, the Angels, the Reds, and the White Sox. So, yes, we could get fireworks tonight. But I'm hoping that Jump can give me enough innings to get and strike out 6 guys in the game. And I'm a common play here. Give me Carter Hart under 26.5 saves in the game on Sunday night.
Championship season.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's one more.
Oh, sorry.
Live bet here at the RBC Canadian. Pot Geeter, 35-1. Very small bet to win it, though.
Koepka's still leading?
3 strokes back. I don't think he's in the lead.
Championship season's here. VSiN Pro can help you bet it smarter. Limited time. Lock in the early bird pricing on the football season special, just $175. The guide comes out June 22nd. I did the picks the other day. I picked the Seahawks to miss the playoffs. We'll release our NFL betting guide, attack futures, win totals, division races, full season ahead. Every best bet, every host, every guest, real-time betting splits, AI-powered prop projections, Stanley Cup Final, NBA Finals, World Cup. It's right here, VSiN.com/subscribe. I loved our buddy Chris Russo with a great rant. I think it was the TCU AD who said the Sorsby thing is like the Black Sox scandal. It's like, they lost on purpose. They threw the World Series.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't throwing interceptions. This guy was betting on his team.
Right.
You can't, come on. That's crazy. But
I would also say that, I mean, it was they had Joey Maguire really laying it on thick about how he's got an addiction and they're doing whatever they can to help the guy with an addiction.
Yeah.
Was he really addicted to gambling? James, by the way, is leading the RBC Canadian. He's up by 1 stroke. Koepka is 2 back.
Well, the other thing, and we'll see what happens here, who wins the MVP, and your thing, I just don't think you can offer $14 on a bet, or you just got to put out, we're not taking anything. I don't understand it. It's the NBA Finals, and you have up 70-1 and you're a book, and someone says, can I get 200 on this? And you say, you can have 14, and then we cut it in half. At the very least, there needs to be a ruling or something in place where you cannot move the number without taking a bet.
That's exactly right.
Because I'm providing you information and saying this, that cannot be legal. Cannot be legal.
So I'm on the Circa app right now, and I'm on the NFL MVP market. I'm just going to pick a random player, Jaden Daniels, 30-1. And when you type that in and you hit the button up to go make a bet. So I'm going to type in $500. Nope, it says right there, minimum risk $200. Right there, for every single market that they offer. You know what you can get down on the app. Game, total, MVP, it doesn't matter. Same thing at the Westgate. Did I say this on the air or off the air? Great point by my buddy who's a lawyer. You can walk into any casino in Las Vegas and you know the limit. Oh, you want to go play 3-card poker? Great. It says it right there in front of you. Everybody knows what the limit is. You want to go play blackjack? Well, they have high limit blackjack. You want to play more than 1,000 a hand? High limit, you can get to 5,000, whatever. There's a minimum, there's a maximum. You know on every denominator, you want to go play Ultimate X? I know that I can play 5 cents, 10 cents, 50, $1, whatever it is. It's all right there. Sportsbooks, apps, I have no idea. It's still a guessing game in 2026. Total BS. Unacceptable. And I would have bet OG Anunoby for that. I would have bet him to win at least $10,000 at another book at 40-1. I was putting 200 down there. I would have put 250 at 40-1. And now it's like, I'm stuck? Ridiculous, dude.
Well, and also you encountered a problem going to the window back where it's like, it was on a college basketball future. Yep. But imagine tomorrow if you go to, it's not going to happen here, but if you go down here at Circa when we're hanging out for the all you can eat, all you can drink, can I get, what's Gaethje by submission? 6-1. Okay, can I have 500 on that? Oh, it's now 4. What?
Yeah.
I mean, that's lunacy.
Of course.
That's absolutely illegal and unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, wait, 6? Yeah, no, that's definitely wrong. We got to move that before you take it back.
But the other thing is, too, there was the 80-1s that were out there now, and some people grabbed like 150-1 before the final started. This is getting real now. I mean, this is.
Oh, he's right there.
I still think he's too low because of the love for Brunson. I did ask Brian Mahoney, who covers the NBA and the Knicks for the Associated Press. He thinks it'd be Brunson, but this is strong that you got big names like Windhorst, Lowe, and Bontemps saying it's OG.
Well, he's got an unbelievable case.
Right, and I also agree with Windhorst, if they win tomorrow, that you would need a double statue for OG with the block and then the putback. Absolutely, yeah. And how he's going to be treated, and they're going to be heroes. Whether you tuned into basketball or hockey, action is nonstop. Paulie Market lets you cash out before the final buzzer Unlike your typical book where you're locked in the second you place your bet, Poly Market gives you control of your position the whole way through. See the game shifting. You can lock in your edge early. Download the app. Get started with $50. Use code BUZZ, B-U-Z-Z, at Poly Market. Code BUZZ. Get you $50. Check local regulations before trading.
And coming up after us here, it's VSiN Primetime. Championships on the line. Basketball, hockey. Humans, Will Hill. The latest line moves. Aaron Moore has his best bets for the College World Series. Nick Bogdanovich, the great Nick Bogdanovich on the show tonight. Behind-the-counter look at where the money's moving. And tomorrow morning, wake up early. Boy, Tim Murray tomorrow for 3 hours at 9 Eastern. Does he have enough to talk about tomorrow? Good luck this weekend.